Welcome to Community Conversations. I'm Steve Grappe with Stand Up Arkansas, and today we are with my good friend and candidate for District 69, Kwami Abdul-Bey. It is National High School Voter Registration Week. We're about 6 weeks from the election, maybe 40 days from the election. 45 days from election. Hey, I'll take those extra 5 days. Doesn't it seem like the election is like in 3 minutes?
Yes. I want it to be over really quickly so that I can take a nap.
We were at a couple of events in Conway last night. They've got it going on in Conway. Teresa Huff
is a badass.
She is absolutely a badass.
She got it going on.
I was very impressed with what they had last night, and I'm impressed with our candidates. There was something like 10 or 11 candidates that came out last night.
Wonderful.
To meet the public and just to hear, talk. The event we had at Skinny Jay's, at one point someone came and said, "Hey, are y'all going to speak? Someone going to speak?" And we're like, "No, we're just here to mingle. We're just here to listen to the community, to hear what people have to say, to let them get to know candidates as a person instead of a candidate giving a speech or asking for money." We have candidates that actually just want to get to know the people that's voting for them.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I'm glad you're here today, Kwami.
Glad to be here.
It is a big week, and there's a lot of cool stuff going on that I want everybody to know about.
Well, before you get off this meeting in Conway, were the candidates in there practicing their singing to get ready for karaoke with the candidates?
On October 2nd, I talked to several of them last night, and everybody I talked to did exactly what you did. They laughed and they shook their head, and then they're like, "That's a great idea."
Yeah.
So anyone listening, Taylor's made a great little restaurant in a community called Gold Creek, which is kind of between Mayflower and Conway. Anyway, we were talking about the karaoke with candidates at the event last night, and people are fired up. I think we're going to have some fun that night.
Yes.
Especially Maureen Skinner. Big shout out to Maureen Skinner.
And see, that's my competition right there.
You know, we have candidates like Maureen that are just real people.
She is a really beautiful human being.
And nothing fake about her. If you like that, just what you see is what you get. I'm going to tell you how I feel, but I'm going to fight for you.
Yes.
Like literally fight for you. I think she's got a dojo or something.
I wouldn't mess with her.
She's an amazing person, but she does sing too. She's got a great voice.
That's why I said that's my competition.
So let's get back to what you've been doing, Kwami. There's a lot going on. We do want people to come out October 2nd and make a crowd and come out and sing and listen to these candidates get up there and try to sing. But what's going on with you this week? I know there's 2 big programs, and you are making history in Central Arkansas. And last night you had an event. It was the very first one, right? For high school students. Tell us about it.
Okay. So in 2003, the Arkansas legislature passed a law that created the high school poll workers program. And what that law said is that any freshman, sophomore, junior, senior in high school can go to their election commission in their county and train to be a poll worker. If that high school student will be 18 by the time election day comes around, which this year is November 5th, then they will be paid state minimum wage.
They get that in addition to doing their civic duties.
Yes, they actually get a chance to see the electoral process and be a part of it. One, they get the opportunity to get this training. 2, they get an opportunity to get paid by the county if they're 18 years old. If they're 15, 16, 17, they don't get paid. But everyone gets volunteer hours that goes towards the 75 hours that they're required to do pursuant to the LEARNS Act. Everybody gets academic credit, and then here's the thing that everybody likes. Every single day that they work in the poll, they get an additional excused absence.
In the Lakeview case in '04, they set out standards for the things that we must teach in our public schools.
Yes.
And one of the lines is civic engagement.
Civic
engagement in your government, and engagement in your community. And
yes, and there was a movement just recently by this organization called For Our Kids that were trying to put the Lakeview decision in the Constitution so that it cannot be altered by either the legislature or the Supreme Court. And I hear that organization is successful in getting the language for the 2026 ballot, so they'll be coming back again.
I'm sure that you're aware of that.
I know a couple of people that are affiliated with that organization.
Yes, and I'm very excited that we do have our amendment that has been passed by the Attorney General.
Yes.
For those listening, we are getting people going, can we have petitions? Can we have petitions? Can we have petitions?
I had 3 people yesterday ask me.
And we are going to get those to you as quickly as possible. But I will tell anyone listening, we're going to do it bigger and better this time.
Indeed.
So just hold out. We're going to make sure that every time one of those petitions goes out, we know where they're at and we track it. We're going to have an easy tracking system for everybody.
Yes.
So we can keep up with what's going on in the field.
Yes. And the 3 people that came and asked me, can they start collecting signatures? I told them, I need you to be collecting voter registration, and I need you to be getting people out to the polls. We need to work on electing people that would be in office that would have the power to better assist this type of effort of making life better for people. I know that's over the last couple of years, that's a kind of a different type of politician, is someone who's interested in making life better for Arkansans. But that's what we're trying to do, is get people in office that feel that way.
And so in Arkansas, you probably, these voucher programs that people are moving money from public schools to private schools, that is designed to defund public education. Because according to the Lakeview case, Arkansas as a government, the number one priority fiscally of our legislature is to fund public education. It's their number one priority according to this Supreme Court case.
Before anything else, before roads or anything else.
But they don't want that.
Exactly.
And, you know, you hear this Project 2025, and you see the legislation coming into Arkansas that's supporting this right-wing Project 2025 agenda, and they are trying to even do away with the Department of Education completely. They don't want to have to pay for schools. They think that individuals or private citizens or corporations should have to pay for training and educating the public. They don't think that the government should have to do that. Let's talk about registering high school students and getting people to the polls and all that good news and all the good work that you are doing, Kwami, in your district, because this is active. This is moving your district forward. This is getting people involved. Yeah. That's good stuff. Let's go back to the election poll worker thing.
Yeah, and it's interesting because we had 24 students from Mayflower High School and from Conway High School. And we had to go underground to get these students because the administration of the schools were not as cooperative as I would hope that they would have been. Now, the superintendent of Mayflower Schools is a really good guy.
Yep.
Every time I reach out to him, he responds, and we've had conversations and everything. And he thought that this was a great idea. However, when he sent me over to Mayflower High School, I did not get the same reception. I was basically ignored. So what we decided to do is we decided to just reach out to the parents. Using the voter file, we were able to locate parents and get the word out to what we were doing to the parents. Now, when we showed up last night, we had no idea who was going to show up or anything.
Or if anyone would show up.
Or if anyone was going to show up. So when the time started, It was supposed to start at 6 o'clock. There were only 5 students there. And we were sitting there like, should we go ahead and get started? And we were literally in the introduction, then this whole group of students walk in, and we're like, whoa. And it was 24 students showed up, out of nowhere. And several of their parents came with them. So I really enjoyed that.
It was good. I saw pictures, and we know how sociology works. We understand that when you get 24 students that get excited about something, that's how you spread fire.
Yes.
And what's your goal in this?
Well, my goal was you talk about the number of students?
Yes.
Well, the goal was literally to just get about 10 or so students from each school. Now I have 24 students from 2 schools that have gone through the training last night. On October 3rd, we will have 99 students from the Pulaski County Special School District.
That's already signed up.
That's already signed up that will go through the training in Pulaski County. So 99 students in Pulaski County, 24 students in Faulkner County. I think we're going to have a handful of students in Montgomery County that are interested. And the mayor of Jefferson County reached out to me.
The upcoming mayor, the newly elected mayor?
The newly elected mayor, yes.
Man, she's awesome,
Indeed.
Isn't she?
Yes. Vivian and her crew were at the NAACP convention. And so they came up to me after I did my Project 2025 presentation and said, we want to do this Jefferson County. So I'll be meeting with them today.
And the beauty of this is really something that I would guess that our goal is 75 counties by 26.
Yes. The goal was to just, like I said, do 10 students in Faulkner County, 10 students in Pulaski County, 10 students in Saline County, just so that we can say, hey, it's done. We've worked out the kinks. And then in 2026, make a mass effort to get a whole bunch of students. But we've had overwhelming turnout. And I had one of the parents from Mayflower actually text me late last night. He said, why has it been 21 years since the law was passed and we're just now getting this done in Faulkner County? And then I told him it's about a lack of resources. Our state legislature passed this law to be permissive instead of mandatory, and then they did not fund it. So it's an unfunded non-mandate. So what we have to do is we have to make it mandatory, and then we have to fund it.
Now, when you say make it mandatory, not mandatory for the students, but mandatory to exist.
Well, yeah, mandatory to exist and mandatory that the school districts have to make it available to the students.
At least public schools.
Yes, public schools at minimum.
Because back to that civics line in the Lakeview case. Okay, this is a great program, but it isn't all you're doing this week.
No, that's not all. Like you said in your introduction, this is National High School Voter Registration Week. And National High School Voter Registration Week has been going on in the United States for the last 5 or 6 years.
There's a national organization.
Yeah, there's a national organization located in Los Angeles, and this organization is called the Civic Center, and it was founded by a group of retired superintendents, retired principals, and retired civics teachers. And they decided that it was vitally important that we revamp civic education. We need some hands-on practical civics education. And they thought that training high school students to register high school students to vote would be a good way to do that. So,
well, and I don't know this. I'm just off the top of my head, spitballing. But it also seems like if we wanted to get in and register students to vote in the high schools, you and I would have a hard time doing that.
It all depends on the person that's in charge. If the person that's in charge has an axe to grind with you or your organization, or if the person that's in charge is not really interested in doing more than showing up and getting a paycheck, then you have that problem. But
or can I add another caveat?
okay.
Or if that person in charge happens to support your opponent and they are blocking you because they don't want you to look good.
Yeah. That
Which is a shame. That is
Yes.
literally taking rights away from their own students. It's hurting their own students to throw some political weight behind a friend.
Yeah. Indeed. You're correct.
So anyway,
So what we'll be doing is we have a total of 6 high schools in Pulaski County that are lined up where their superintendent, and like I said, the superintendent of Pulaski County Special School District and his team, they are awesome.
they're amazing.
They are awesome. I sent out an email to all of the superintendents and all of the principals in Central Arkansas, and literally within 72 hours of me sending the email, he responded like, "Hey, we're on board. When can we meet to do this?"
That's how it's supposed to be.
Exactly.
And what we're also hearing is, why have we not done this before?
Yes. Yes.
You know?
So I was only expecting 1 or 2 high schools, but they have all of their high schools participating. So like today, I will be at Sylvan Hills.
During their lunch?
Yeah, during their lunch from 11 to 1. And what they're doing is when we set up the tables, all of the 18-year-olds in the building will be sent to the table to hear our spiel and then decide whether or not they want to register to vote.
But what we're really looking for is 1 sophomore, 1 junior, and 1 senior at every school, correct?
One, as far as the teams that are doing this, 1 freshman, 1 sophomore, 1 junior, and 1 senior. Yes.
If these students decide to be on the team, and you got a 9th grader, for instance, and because I know Little Rock Central has one particular 9th grade girl that is sharp as a tack and gets in there with the seniors.
Wonderful.
So that freshman could be in this program with you.
Yes. The beauty of using freshmen and sophomores is you are creating sustainability for the program because they're going to be in it all 4 or 3 years that they're there, and they're going to be bringing people behind them. So that's why it's so valuable to engage freshmen and sophomores. Once they finish with their voter registration, they have to write a report talking about their experience, what they learned and everything, what they saw, how it can be improved. And they send that report to Los Angeles to the organization, and they get a $150 gift certificate.
Do you have to be at every registration event, or can they run the registration event?
No, they're trained to run them themselves. I'm going to different schools just to help out and observe, but the students are the ones that are running it.
Can you tell us some other schools you're going to be at this week?
This week I'll be at Sylvan Hills, I'll be at Maumelle, I'll be at Joe T. Robinson, Mills, and Jacksonville.
Y'all, that's real work in the community.
Yes.
That is somebody that's out there trying to make a difference and trying to engage the youth, which, y'all, it's tough. You know, we speak a different language. We have different values than the youth. I love working with these young people.
Yes. Yes. And when they get it, you got them. Like, give you an example. After they got finished with the training last night, I was telling the young people the importance of electoral justice. And I told them, I said, every election is about money, power, and respect. When I said that, they stood up like, what, is he rapping to us? And then I said, the money is resources. The power is the ability to make decisions on what to do with those resources. And the respect is what the electeds are required to give to their constituents. Money, power, and respect. So when you go to the ballot box, You need to decide if this person is going to use their power to give your community the resources and respect your existence as a human being. When I said that, they was like, oh, yeah, cool. They loved it.
They heard your language.
Yes. Got to speak their language. Got to meet them where they're at.
So thank you for all you're doing.
Okay.
I want you to tell people, how can parents or kids get involved in either one of these programs?
The program is run by my nonprofit, Ouachita Foothills Youth Media Arts and Literacy Collective. You can call our text 501-725-1337. That's 501-725-1337. Or you can email me at Kwami, Kwami, at wfmalc.org.
And I'll try to put that in the notes below.
Indeed.
So
Yeah.
y'all can
Thank you.
so y'all can get it.
Yeah, so that's how you learn more about high school voter registration and also high school election poll worker program.
Thank you. Y'all, we have been privileged to have Kwami in studio again today. Kwami, thank you for being here. And I just want to let everybody
You're welcome.
think for 1 second. Well, let's meditate. What really is important? And how can we make a difference? And I know there's a lot of people out there that think that their voice is not heard. They think that their vote doesn't count. They think when they stand up because they're for or against something, it makes no difference. I'm here to tell you it makes a difference. It really makes a difference on your local level.
Yes.
And it really makes a difference right here in Arkansas. So I need you to inform yourself. I need you to spread the word. I need you to get everybody registered to vote. What's the deadline to register?
It's October the 7th.
So you've got about 2 weeks left.
Yep.
Get everybody you know registered to vote. And let's pull Arkansas out of the number 51 out of 51 voting populations, because they take Washington, D.C. into account. And we are last in civic engagement in the country. And we can change that.
You know, we're last in civic engagement, we're last in voter registration, and we're last in voter turnout.
Let's change that this cycle. Y'all, thanks for being with us today. This is Steve Grappe with Stand Up Arkansas and Community Conversations. Just remember, regnant populace, y'all. Let the people rule. Let's keep it that way.